We're live?
Yeah.
We're live!
Oh my god!
Oh, just like that. Very anticlimactic. Hey, welcome into a Riverdale Recap Live. I'm Adam.
Hi, I'm Aneesh.
And we have just not been able to stop gushing about last night's Riverdale episode, The Midnight Club.
Oh my god, the flashback episode that I have been dying for since they started promoting it.
And we just wondered how it was going to fit and how the young actors like a Cheryl Blossom, Betty Cooper, how they were going to portray their parents, and they nailed it.
Oh my god, we're talking about gushing. You were gushing over a young Alice.
Whew, I was just saying that if I saw Alice Cooper in high school, I would have been one of the boys just like eaten alive. I would have just been like, no, what is that?
I would have been the one to be like, oh my god, how do I become her best friend?
Yeah.
Because I want her to kill everybody that hates me.
Was this the best episode of Riverdale ever?
I would say yes. And honestly, and I was talking about this with some people, were like, the past few episodes this season were like,
we're just kind of grasping at straws.
Yeah, but this one tied it all together and made it super litty, and I loved it. Oh my gosh. So we start off the episode where Betty pretty much just confronts her mom, Alice, and is just like, look at this file, honey. I've got it. Something's going on. You know about this game, Griffins and Gargoyles. And then she just breaks it down.
I know. I'm really glad that Alice actually was like, okay, I'll tell you, because she's been driving us crazy with this whole farm issue and just hiding secrets. And then it's just like a flashback, and it's literally like the Breakfast Club. And the way they set it up was so cool. They're all in detention. And then I was like, I was so into it. I'm like, I would totally join this club.
Yes.
This is great.
We get to meet all of the parents from when they were younger, and we get to see how they were all pretty much in different cliques, but then their detention situation is what brought them together. They break into the teacher's desk, and they find this game, Griffins and Gargoyles. They start to play, and they're sucked into it. Like,
so much into it that they start cosplaying throughout, and that's when I was like, oh, this is cool. They're like becoming friends. I'm like, this is nice. What could go wrong?
Oh.
Doily.
Oh.
As soon as he's in the mix.
And I was like, oh, he's back.
Ruined.
He's back.
It's ruined.
Oh my god.
Okay, so jumping back a little, I think you and I hold Lily Reinhart as Alice Cooper, young Alice Smith, in the highest regards.
Oh my god.
Other than her, who is she's at the pinnacle, which actor or which like transformation from young to their parents, from kid to their parents, did you like the best?
Oh my gosh. I loved Miss Blossom. She did a fabulous job with that. I thought the girls really nailed it in general. Like a young Hermione was very surprising to me.
Right.
I was not expecting what I saw, and to learn more about that, about how, like, you know, her parents were just cleaning up at the 5 Seasons, and she was just like, honey, I don't want this life. I'm not trying to be about this. And I was like, girl, me too. I'm trying to get money. That's all I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I think I like the biggest, I liked Archie as, like, you know, as Fred. He looked like a young Luke Perry.
I was like, wow, look at KJ playing a character that, like, I can stomach for a whole episode. I said it. He didn't say it. I said it.
So then the drugs get introduced, and things start to just explode. And we find out that Principal Featherhead died as a result of the Gargoyle King, and we see the Gargoyle King. Well, and so now it's like, who is it?
Right.
Okay, so we got to, I thought it was the principal for a long time.
Yeah.
I thought it was the principal for pretty much the entire episode, and it still might be.
Do you think so?
Huh?
Maybe. So the reason that we even know anything about the principal and the Gargoyle King in itself from this flashback is because Alice, at the time, was actually pregnant with a child, with FP's baby, and she wasn't really telling anybody about it, except for the girls that found out while she was in the bathroom and she did the pregnancy test and found out about the whole situation. But everybody else was tripping on their, what is it, Fizzle Rocks? I think it was Fizzle Rocks that they had. So everybody else was coming for this Ascension party that was set up after the Midnight Club got super invested in the game. Yeah. And they all come together, and they kind of lightly address that they all think that the other person set up the whole party for them.
Yeah.
Nobody did.
That was a good point, because when Dilton was like, great job setting it up. She's like, I thought you did. You're
And I
like,
was like, no, I thought you did. And then they were like, whatever. But meanwhile,
it's about to happen.
Right, we're sitting there like, oh my God, get out. Get
out of the school.
So then Alice is the only one that's totally sober while everybody else is flying and acting a whole fool. She goes into the bathroom, and then what is it? All of this graffiti is all
Flip
over.
for your fate.
Flip for your
Flip
fate.
for your fate.
And there's the 2 chalices sitting on one of the sinks with the coin there, and she doesn't take it. As she leaves, the principal is banging on the door to the school because they're there at midnight. He gets in. She sneaks out after seeing the Gargoyle King. And then next thing you know, dead. Dead.
Principal Featherhead, dead. So, wow. So I had this theory for a long time in season 1 that it was Kevin. And so I think Kevin's got a role to play in all this.
Really?
Because Riverdale has a tendency to bring something out of nowhere. Like you don't see it coming because they don't show you any reason to believe it's coming. So I think Kevin is going to play a part in this, and maybe his dad as well. But that's all I'm going to say. I don't have a lot of evidence, but that's what I'm thinking.
See, that's the part where I don't even know where to come up with a theory, because even though this episode was so amazing, it still left me just as confused. And I was still like, so who is it?
I know. So that kind of brings us to, well, we got to see how the parents became who they are, and then that kind of ties into right at the end, we see Jughead, which, newsflash, it's time for our segment that we wrap up every Riverdale recap live with, and it's called Honestly. It's where Aneesh just kind of tells you what he's really thinking. So, without further ado, here's Aneesh with Honestly.
Honestly, Juggy, Jughead, Mr. Juggerson, what were you doing? How do we go through this whole almost hour-long episode of hearing about all these things about this game? You almost drank from the chalice in the previous episode. You saw what happened to the most annoying person on the show, Ethel. And then you're full-on invested in the game. There has to be something going on the board, but either way, you're trying me, and you are trying Miss Betty, who is out here, who has already got so many things to be concerned about with the farm, and now you're acting like an animal yourself. What's wrong with you? Stop playing the game. Put the pieces down.
Here, have some chicken. All right, that's it for Riverdale Recap Live. We will see you next week, right here on Your Phoenix CW Facebook Live. He's Aneesh from The Morning Mess. I'm Adam. We're just going to enjoy some chicken. Jughead, we're mad at you.
Don't